whether you start with the diamonds or you start with the regular medium stones, you're working towards that apex. You're trying to get a clean apex with it, and work up a burr on both sides, and then knock the burr off and have a clean apex. And we're working up a burr. So we're close. We're definitely close. In some parts I can see a distinct burr worked up. I could feel it with my finger. And we've got our scratch pattern going. Yep. So that is working out well. We're not far off is what I'm basically trying to tell you. From completely reprofiling a damaged factory edge at a completely different angle, there's more steel load up. You see that? Anyway. So we're working up a burr, which means we're very close. Which means we've more or less scratched. We were scratching up the shoulder, we were digging deeper into the steel and grinding away and grinding away and grinding away and grinding away until that, you see we got like an angle like this. So imagine that this is the shoulder of the grind, and then here's your primary bevel, and because we're putting so much more acute an angle on there, we're grinding away at that and bringing it eventually till we're actually hitting the apex and getting our burr up. Now we're practically at that point. We're just cleaning up here. Yeah. Even now as I'm doing this, I'm improvising little things because the muscle movement, the action is completely different from freehanding. So now I'm for example, I'm putting my pinky here to control the lateral movement, just improvising because I hadn't used one of these in a long time. Yeah. So So we've got a burr worked up on both sides, and this would cut paper right there, I can tell you, even with a big nasty burr on one side, because the edge is apexed. So now all we're going to do is clean that burr off a little bit, and then I'll actually demonstrate it for you. Now I'm going to do it the way they tell you to. Now it makes sense to follow their directions. Actually, feels coarse, that's for damn sure. I don't actually know what the grit is of those stones. They're I can tell you this, they must be pretty coarse. This scratch pattern looks like I don't know what I'd compare it to on the DMT scale. It looks pretty coarse. In fact, I'd say it might be at their coarse level, roughly, something like that. Nice, pretty new bevel on there. For those of you who think that the reason why you're not getting good results on your Sharpmaker because you're not going high enough or whatever, and you're going all the way to the ultrafine stones and you're not able to cut paper, let me show you. All right. That's coming off the diamonds. Do you see what I'm doing? It's pushing in places. In fact, it's pushing pretty cleanly if you can hear it. Look. 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 The reason why I wanted to demonstrate that is because what you want to do with your first stones is you want to correct any chips, nicks, dings, rolls you've got. You want to set a clean new bevel, especially if you haven't sharpened the knife before and it's a nasty, dull, dinged up factory edge like this one was. And you're doing two things with these coarse diamond rods. One, you're correcting, and by correcting I mean correcting mistakes. So what were the mistakes? One, it was a factory, very rough, very obtuse angle. It had kind of been abused in use, so that there were dings and rolls and nicks in the edge, and it was really dull. So you had a triple whammy there. You've basically got to get through all those problems with these diamond rods. You've got to reset a clean, even new bevel all the way to the apex. Work your burr up on both sides, and then once you've done that, if there are still deep chips in there, you need to keep working until you've gotten enough steel off to where you've gotten rid of those chips. And then once that's done, and you've got an apex edge with no more chips in it, then you've got to knock that burr off. And the way I did that was by doing the back and forth, lightening until I was just barely touching it, and then I saw that I felt that I had a nice clean edge, and I knew what that edge was going to do to this newsprint. Now at this point, we've got a clean, even bevel on both sides, no burr, or very minimal burr. So now we can move on to the ceramic medium stones and then the fine stones, and that won't take long at all. That's going to be really fast because I took the time to do the work with my first stone.